That's right. Guilty of being white.
Hey, what is this, a racist show?
It is. You know what? I'm going to interject more racism into the show because I want to show my true colors.
Why not, man? Just show it all, man. Just nigger this and nigger that.
Guilty of being white.
Guilty of being white!
Right. Well, good interview with Mr. DX Ferris. He just needs to get a better connection.
Yeah, his connection was a little spotty, but good enough.
Good enough to get by. We got the gist of what he's trying to promote there.
Yeah. So it's a great book. I will say that. I've read it, and it really is fucking good.
And just where do you find the time between writing your own book, promotion, running Aiken IT services, uploading the Classic Metal Show podcast, doing interviews? When do you have time to read?
Late at night. Late at night, where most people are, watching movies or jerking their dick to porn. I read.
Or you watch serial killer documentaries on Netflix.
Right, serial killer documentaries while I read Slayer books.
Nice.
I am.
Well, one of your revered serial killers died. Was it this year? Richard Ramirez.
Oh yeah. The beginning of this year. Yeah.
The Night Stalker.
Yep. Goodbye. I'm surprised he lasted this long.
Did he die of liver cancer?
Something like that. He should have died of fucking liver shiv. Should have been shivved right in the fucking liver.
How interested in their lives?
I'm interested because I can't figure out for the life of me what is it about their head that just doesn't wrap themselves around fucking actually killing. I just can't fathom it, I guess. Did you ever go hunting ever in your life?
I only gone maybe twice, but I'm just not into killing animals.
And I did it the same way. I went once or twice and was not into it, man. Something in my fucking head was like, what are you doing? Now, would I like even fishing or that shit? I don't do that either.
Right.
And I mean, if it was that or die, I would. But, by all accounts, whacking something is just not in my mentality. So just watching how fucking these guys do it, like they're fucking, changing their clothes. It's like nothing to them. They're like, oh yeah, I choked her out and she died.
Well, because they're mentally ill or they're not wired the same as, regular people.
Yeah, it's like half their brain didn't fucking get put in their head or something.
Sure.
It's crazy weird, and I think that's why I watch it so much, because I can never get my head completely around it.
Right. Look at Demon. Neeley kills the pussy, not animals. Neeley the kitty killer.
Wow. These guys seem to know something that I don't about you.
Apparently.
Wow. How'd they know?
I don't know.
Is that why Angel was not on here? Because you snuck up to fucking Newfoundland and killed that pussy? Needed a couple of weeks to recover? Is that what happened?
I don't think so. I think I would have remembered that.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
I mean, I can see how maybe you forgot.
No, I don't think you would forget that.
I don't think you'd forget it either. Jesus God.
I don't think you would forget something like that.
If there's a way to die, would it not be on top of her? Just fucking have a stroke right at orgasm and die.
Or below her.
Yeah, or below her.
Just being suffocated.
Or just think, if she was like riding you like reverse cowboy to where she didn't know what was going on and you had a fucking heart attack, but she kept fucking you for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Kind of like Clerks.
That would be the way to go, wouldn't it?
I would assume so. I mean, I don't think anybody thinks about, man, this is I want this to be my last hurrah, or this is how I want to go out.
Yeah, I do.
But if you got to go out, I guess that would be the way to go if you could plan it.
Yeah, I mean, if you just knew, you know what, I got 2 more days left. Wouldn't you just try to get your fucking chick to just stay on your dick? I mean, honestly.
You're so eloquent with your words.
Well, I'm just being real.
I'm not saying you're not being unrealistic. I'm just saying you're very eloquent with the choice of your words.
Yeah. I mean, that would just be the way to go. Just kind of you're like into it, and next thing I know, you're gone.
Right.
Last thing you remember is watching a beautiful ass just bouncing on your dick.
Well, it's kind of like Soylent Green.
Yeah, there it is.
Did you see that movie?
No.
Well, on Soylent Green, they basically were asking people to voluntarily, off themselves because of the shortage of food and whatnot.
I did see this movie, yeah.
And so they basically put you in like a bed chamber type thing, and they play this movie that makes you feel as if you're in a certain scene or scenario or something, and then you just basically drift off remembering your happiest moments or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
That's the way to go.
And then, once you're gone, then they shoot you down a chute and turn you into food.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
There you go.
What's up, fun? Go ahead.
Yeah. So they feed the masses on food pellets that are made out of the dead.
Hey, works for me. Once I'm gone, do whatever you want.
Right.
Do you have a problem if like a embalmer guy or whatever was really sick and fucked your dead corpse?
Well, would I have a problem? I mean, how would I know?
Do you have a problem of it thinking of it now?
Oh yeah, I mean that's just that obviously is a very morbid thought.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, would you care? I mean, would you care now? If you knew that when you died, your body was going to be fucked by a fucking crazy fucking embalmer, would you care?
Would I be concerned about it? No, that would not be a concern.
Yeah, I mean, let's do a little game here. So you've got two embalmers, okay?
Okay.
You've got one that's going to charge $4,000 to fucking embalm your body and get you ready for burial, okay?
Uh-huh.
Got another one that's only going to charge your family $1,000, but is definitely going to fucking finger your asshole and then fuck it. Now, you're dead. Now, would you be willing to give up that $3,000? Would you be willing to
spend that extra $3,000 not to be violated after your demise? Sure.
You'd be willing to spend the money?
Probably, yeah.
I'm good with them taking a fucking carving knife and cutting my asshole out and taking it home with them.
Okay.
I'm as good with that as fine. Save the money.
So it's you're okay. Well, that is an interesting concept. I mean, I don't think I've had this discussion before.
So you would rather, even though it would cost your family an extra $3,000.
Well, let me ask you the question: is the family aware of the consequences?
No,
the family is not aware of the consequences.
No, it's just some fucking creep. Here, I'll give you an example. And this is you want to go into some sick shit that I've been in my life. Here we go.
Oh boy, here we go.
There was a time when I was very young, when I first moved back here from the Army, that I couldn't find a job to save my fucking life.
Okay, and about what year is this?
92.
Okay, so we're into the first or the end of the Bush elder administration and into the early part of the Clinton administration.
Right. And I mean, I just couldn't find a job.
Sure.
And so I get a call, and I had been literally working, fucking doing inventories for $5 an hour in fucking warehouses, counting parts.
Okay.
I mean, I could not find a job. I was doing anything that was out there for cash.
Sure.
So then I got a call from some temp agency asking me if I would be willing to do a job for $23 an hour. Not like a temp to hire, $23 an hour, which for me at that point, that might as well have been $10 gazillion an hour.
Yeah, of course, because when you're settling for $5 and somebody's offering you 5 times that.
Yeah. And I mean, before that, I was on every goddamn public assistance thing there was while I was trying to find $1. I mean, I was broke.
Okay.
And so I was like, fuck yeah, I'm in. So they're like, well, you need to come down here and you need to meet with this company, because it's kind of specialized work.
Okay.
I was like, all right, fine. So the next day I go down, suit, tie, meet with these people. And they're like, how are you in your mind with death? And I was like, I'm fine with it. Why?
Okay.
I didn't know why. And they're like, well, here's the job. It's working at this crematory. And what you're going to be doing is, helping this guy fucking embalm bodies.
Okay.
Or not embalm, but burn.
Okay.
Burn bodies. You're going to be loading them into the oven. You're going to have to break up the bones. You're going to have to fucking take deliveries of fucking Mr. Jones in a box.
So these are basically John Does.
Oh, no.
No?
No.
So, well, what is this? Is this like a legitimate crematory?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so this is a legitimate crematory.
Yeah. And they needed me, or my job was literally to burn bodies.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, yeah, not a problem at all. I'm all in, right?
All right.
So, I start doing the job, and I'll just tell you straight up, that was the most fucked up job.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's not something that you can just walk in off the street and go, okay, well, we're just going to throw this former living being, a human being, into the fire.
Well, dude, and it was just brutal. I mean, the way it works is you have this big-ass fucking oven. It looks sort of like a pizza oven.
Yeah, sure.
And you fucking load Mr. Jones into this fucking thing.
Right.
And you cook this shit for about, I don't know, an hour and a half, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you have this thing. It looks like a rake on one side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you flip it over, and the whole other side is this flattened out thing like the back of a hammer.
Okay.
You have to take this fucking thing with the back of the hammer side, and you have to bang on the fucking bones that are not.
Yeah, it's like a ball-peen hammer.
Yeah, like smashing skulls and fucking.
So you're breaking bones.
Oh, I was definitely breaking bones, man.
It sounds like a Dokken theme here. Broken bones into the fire.
Yeah, it was all kinds of fucked up.
Sure.
But so I did this job for months, and I'll get into why I quit it in a minute, because that's a story all by itself. But
okay.
One of the things that I had to do as part of my job was that I had to go into, we had the guy that, what is the guy called that fucking puts the bodies together? If they're going to do a burial.
The mortician.
Yeah, we had to go see that guy.
Okay, we went to the mortician. Okay.
Like, he had an office, like, off of where we fucking smoked people.
Where you smoked them?
Yeah, we smoked them.
I think it was a little more than just smoking them. It's not like you were hanging them out as a summer ham.
Yeah, well, I could tell you some stories about some dogs, but that's a whole nother. Monday was ASPCA day. They bring in 150 dogs in fucking garbage bags.
Right.
Boy, did that have a stink.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it's just a fact of life, unfortunately.
Oh, was it brutal. But no, so this mortician guy was a fucking creep. I mean, this is a guy, I honestly believe this guy was fucking raping bodies.
Okay, you gotta have sort of a something about you if that's your chosen line of work or profession, because you're kind of like Dracula,
I mean, this fucking guy, I honestly believe this guy was huffing fucking embalming fluid.
Okay.
Because he was a fucking creep.
All right.
And so I used to have to go in and fucking, get paperwork signed or whatever. This fucking weirdo fuck would put a pen in a fucking severed hand and sign the fucking paperwork with the severed hand.
Okay.
And fucking was always trying to fucking hand me body parts and shit.
All right.
It was a fucking...
Yeah, he was morbid.
He was... dude, it was so fucking gross. Fucking guy fucking stick a hand up in my face. Or
right. He was just a morbid guy. Okay.
Oh, he was a fucking creep. And it fucking creeped me out.
Sure.
So, this is a guy, going back to what we were talking about on the show, I could totally see that guy being the guy that would fucking fuck your dead body.
Okay.
I could see this guy being that. But anyway, the reason I quit this job, this is where it gets all fucked up.
Okay.
So one of the things most people don't realize with death, I guess, is that on almost every plane flight in this country, there's a dead body.
Yeah, it's in the storage compartment or the cargo bay.
Well, we used to get truckloads of them.
Okay.
Unload the trucks, and they come in a fucking box. Just like a regular old box, like a moving box.
Okay, yeah.
So you open the box, you literally cut the bands off the box, and laying right in there is Mr. fucking Jones.
Right.
And it just fucks you up in the head.
Sure it does.
Loaded, you pick them up, you stick them on a tray, and you fucking load them in and burn them up.
Okay.
It was fucked up. So I started having these dreams at home. I would fucking be asleep, and I'd be like, oh my God. I'd be dreaming that I was at work, and I'd be opening boxes, and there's my mom or fucking my kid or my wife or whatever. And it just got to the point that I literally stopped sleeping.
Yeah.
And I ended up having to quit that job because I can't fucking do this.
I mean, what you're telling me here and your reaction to it sounds perfectly normal.
Oh, dude, it was just, it was so bad. And it's one of those jobs, too, you can't even tell people about your fucking job.
Right.
Oh, dude, well, I burn bodies.
Well, I work at a crematorium.
Yeah. And they don't want to hear that. They fucking immediately, nobody wants to shake your hand or anything.
Sure.
They're afraid that the fucking death stink is going to get on on them
right.
from you.
Right.
It was a fucked up job, man. I mean, I have worked some fucked up jobs, but that one takes the cake.
Sure. Well, it is a fact of life, and it is a job that unfortunately somebody has to do, and obviously does.
Yeah, they pay well. What's funny, dude, is you personally have probably passed that place where that place was 500 times.
Okay.
It's when you're going down to what is now, I don't know what it's called now, but used to be Nautica.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you go like through that like little one street, and you go over the bridge, and then right over the bridge is
right.
Where
It's down in the flats.
Yeah, that corner building right next to State Fish.
Sure.
That's the fucking crematory.
Okay.
It has a big CSI on it with a little flame on it.
All right.
And it's Crematory Services Incorporated.
All right.
So when you're eating smoked fish from State Fish, guess where that fucking flavor comes from?
Right.
Dead body stink.
Sure.
Ugh. I would never eat fish from down there.
Well, I don't eat fish anyway, but not the kind that swims, but...
Yeah. Well, you could probably take some home with you if they fucking run into that fucking embalmer creep. He'd fucking cut you out a pussy, let you take it home.
Sure.
So what you're saying though, ultimately, is you would want your family to spend the extra $3,000?
Well, again, I mean, as a living being, I mean, nobody thinks, hey, I want that to happen to me, to be defiled that way.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless if you're dead or not.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody thinks, this is what's going to happen to me. But in the end, if you were unaware of it, to me, I don't think it would be, anything to be worried about or be concerned about. I mean, because, you're gone.
Yeah. See, that's how I look at it too. It's like, I personally plan on being cremated, not fucking, not buried or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I constantly tell my kids that they should ask for a half price sale for me.
Sure.
Since I've already been halfway cooked.
Well, the way that the way that I learned this, early on.
Yeah.
And this may or may not make the book.
Yeah.
When it comes out, but I had a brother who got killed in front of the house, got hit by a car.
Right.
When I was only 5 years old.
Oof.
Right. And when my parents had to make the arrangements and whatever, that was one of the selling points of the mortician or whoever sells you your casket and your vault and all this. And one of the things that they're always selling is trying to appeal to your emotional senses that your loved one is going to rest in peace and comfort.
Right.
Like they're still alive and feeling, so you need to get the most plush casket, you need to get the most sealed box so you don't aren't affected by the elements below the ground, and you need to have this, and of course with all that comes an additional price tag.
Of course.
You know, so instead of settling for the basic arrangement, some people are moved to the point that they end up spending literally thousands of extra dollars because they don't want their loved one to be uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's so dumb. You know, I mean, I just went through it with my dad. You know, when my dad died in March, you know, we had to go. We literally went 6 hours after he died. We were in front of the fucking funeral director.
Sure.
You know, and it was so fucking ugh. You know, because and the guy was nice enough. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not trying to say he was bad or anything. I mean, he's doing his job, but dude, it just felt like a fucking like a trip to the mall.
Yeah, you're picking things out. You got to have this finish on your coffin. You got to have this kind of interior. You got to have these kind of handles. You got to have
what slogan do you want on your memoriam cards? And you know, it's like, dude, who gives a fuck? You know, what do you think? This is fucking like I'm going to trade it for a fucking Babe Ruth fucking vintage card?
Sure. Well, you know, again, it's all appealing to your your raw senses that you're doing your loved one a favor by sending them off in the best, the best of the best. And it's just like, all right, just when I'm dead and gone, just throw me in a hole. Okay. I'm not worried about having a chrome lined, this and a safety sealed that and this vault that's earthquake proof and all this.
Yeah. You know what? 30 gallons of gasoline, a match, and some marshmallows, and you got me done.
Sure.
You know, fuck all that nonsense, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, again, it's just taking advantage of your weakest moment.
Yep. Well, and that's exactly what they do. Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Sure.
You know, you have to make sure that you give him the dignity in death that you gave him in life.
Right.
Really? Shut up.
Right.
You know, just fucking bury the fucking bastard. He doesn't give a fuck. He's dead. You know? I mean, that's how I honestly look at it. And that's why I would fucking say, save the $3,000.
Twister Girl.
Yeah.
I want to die happy, but being fucked to death is not on the top of my list. Does that make me not so cool?
Call her up. Call her right now. Dial her phone.
Let me get her number here. So funny.
No, we need this. We need this. This conversation to happen.
You need this to happen.
Yes.
All right. Let's see here. Let's see if she'll answer.
All right.
Dialing.
Right.
Let me look here.
As I said, I don't even hear it ringing.
You're not going to hear it ringing. Because I don't want anybody to hear the number.
Oh no! Somebody might record it and stalk her.
Sure.
Me.
Let me see here.
Should be under T for Twister.
No,
girl.
I got it. Whoop! I dialed the wrong thing. Let me try it again. Trying it again. I transposed the number.
Judas Reich, death fuck conversation. Go get him, Chris.
Right.
I'm in that mood tonight.
I can tell.
Just a goofy ass mood.
I can tell.
She has to answer.
Hi, it's Lisa.
Oh. Damn, dude. I don't know. She's missing the boat though. She's not the one that's dying from being fucked. It's the guy. The guy dies.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not talking about railing a chick to death. Yeah, that wouldn't be pleasant.
Right.
But the natural fucking softness of a warm, wet vagina is the last thing you feel. The last thing, as you're fading out, all you feel is that warm, heated, fucking delicious pussy. And then you're gone. That just is pleasant.
Yeah, that's just like Soylent Green.
Yeah.
I'm trying it one more time, see if she answers.
She don't. Nope. She wants no part of this.
Nope.
No part of this one.
No dice. Tain't happening.
Nope. That's all right. That's all right.
All right. Well, I thought very interesting conversation, Mr. Chris. How come that part of your life didn't make the book?
Well, the next book, which is already 3/4 of the way written, my burn book.
Right.
That probably will make that book.
Sure.
As I start fleshing that thing out.
So you decided to dig back in the archives and bring out the original book you wrote.
Yeah, well, I don't have the whole book. That's the problem. Is I only have I wrote about 15 chapters for that book, and I have like 8 of them.
Okay.
8 or 9. So there's some significant holes in it.
Did you somehow misplace the other parts, or what happened?
Well, there's that divorce thing. God knows where things went, during that.
So do you think it was purposely lost?
I don't know if it was purposely lost, but I mean, it was a single floppy disk.
Okay, it was on digital.
Yeah, it was a single floppy disk that is no longer available anywhere. So I'm not accusing. I don't know. I can't imagine why she would have taken a floppy disk, but there's a box of floppy disks that is no longer available anywhere. And I can't find it. And I had a printed copy of it that my mom had, and she gave me what she had. And she had, I think, 9 chapters. And I retyped that all out, but yeah, now I got to fill in some significant holes. And I ain't gonna lie, it'll be 19 years next week on the 12th since I got smoked. And my memory ain't quite that good for 19 years. It barely remembers last week. So 19 years ago, that's gonna be tough to rewrite. But we'll see. I'm gonna talk to family and whatnot and try and recollect some of this shit and see what I can come up with.
Sure. Well, apparently you had no problem remembering a morbid situation in your life where you worked at a crematory.
No, and that's it. I think with a little prompting, I can probably remember a lot of this stuff. It's work. It's. You know how busy I am right now. I'm opening fucking businesses left and right and fucking trying to publish a book and, everything else. It's a little tough to think about new projects right now.
Sure.
But I do want to, I've had so much response to the first book, to this one, that I kind of think I need to put it out now.
Right.
I think it'll help some people. And that's really kind of the reason I might put this one out.
Well, there's a time and place for everything.
Yep. And since it's already 3/4 of the way written, why not put it out?
Right. All you got to do is go back through it, clean up some whatever maybe, and add a little bit and put it out.
Yeah. Well, and things have changed since then too, which there's some cool stuff that I can write, that I just never even thought about before, is like, how my life has been affected by fire in a lot of ways. And that fucking crematory story would be one of them. And then another one is, and I don't even know if you know this. You probably don't know this, and this is sort of a classic metal story. So this will be fun. So 6 months before I got burned up in '94, I got burned. I got 2nd-degree burns. Did you know that?
No, I was not aware of that.
This is the dumbest story I'll ever tell, but I'll tell it anyway. So I was at a Metallica show at Blossom Music Center with Danzig.
Okay.
Okay, it was Danzig and Metallica in '94. And at this time, they allowed blankets to come into, and I think they still do, at Blossom. They allowed you to have blankets. And at the Metallica show, of course, everybody started lighting the blankets on fire.
All right.
And as they lit them on fire, then people would start moshing around the fucking blankets. Right?
Sure.
Well, me, who was drunk off his fucking ass, had to do one better than everybody else. So I found the biggest fucking fire and dove into it.
Nice.
Just right into it.
And at what point did you think, man, this is a good idea?
Oh, I thought it was a great idea until I woke up the next morning and had to go immediately to the hospital.
Right.
Because my fucking arm had turned black and green.
Oh.
You know, because I had literally burned basically the whole, like your whole forearm on my right forearm from the fucking edge of my pinky all the way to my elbow.
Wow.
You know, and I had to go to the hospital and get it wrapped, and took about 6 weeks to heal.
No wonder your wife divorced your ass.
I was a little out of control back in those days.
Because I was married to a moron.
Yeah.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
What do you guys want?
Oh.
It's
hello,
Twister Girl.
Yes.
Hi,
All right,
Twister
sweetheart.
Girl.
Hey,
How are you, sweetie?
I am great. How are you guys?
I am good. But I have to ask you about your comment about being fucked to death.
Still,
It sounds like your phone got fucked to death, actually.
yeah, I think it did. It's been whole. What can I say?
All right, here's the deal, though. We weren't trying to say that the girl would be fucked to death. We were trying to say that the guy would die while the chick was riding him.
Oh, okay.
You don't think that would be okay?
No, I wouldn't want to be responsible for that.
And then it would leave emotional scars on you forever, right?
Exactly.
What about if we agreed on it ahead of time that I wouldn't hold you responsible?
No, I don't know.
I mean, we could have the conversation ahead of time, and I'd be like, "Look, this is how I want to go." All right, let's play a different game. Let's just say that I had like really, really bad terminal cancer, and at the same time, it ate into my back so that I was paralyzed. If I was in really, really amazing pain, and I begged you to just put a pillow over my face and kill me, would you do it for me?
No.
You wouldn't do it. You'd let me stay in pain.
Well, I just don't want to be responsible for anyone's death.
But what if you put a pen in my mouth and I signed a piece of paper saying that you weren't, that I asked you to do it?
Because that still doesn't make me not responsible in my own mind with myself.
Right.
I want to have a clear conscience when I die.
She has to live with herself.
I just got to say, the fact that you won't suffocate
So
me
you
with
caught
a pillow,
me.
I just
You
got to
caught
say
me on
it.
a bad night. I'm sober.
I just have to say it. The fact that you will not suffocate me with a pillow or fuck me to death makes you a very non-compassionate person.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way. I would buy you one of those little plastic pussy things so that you could do it yourself.
Can you imagine how disturbed that would be if the fucking EMS came in and all they found was a fucking dead guy with one of those pulsating pussies just fucking munching on his dick?
But like you said, you're dead. Who cares?
Well, that's what I think, too. I wouldn't care, but that would be a funny image. Can you imagine walking into that?
They would be for life.
It's just like Clerks. His legs were doubled over his head, balls resting on his lips.
Oh, my God. That is horrible.
So what are you doing tonight
Sorry.
that you're not drinking?
I don't know. Just hanging out.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm you know, I'm like that. You guys know that. No fun at all.
All right, sweetie. Well,
Non-compassionate, no fun.
yeah,
you
no
know.
fun, uncompassionate. Just keep listening to the show. Eventually, you'll get some
Boring
ideas.
little Twister girl. All right.
All right, sweetheart.
All right.
Bye.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, Twister Girl.
Bye.
There she
What a
goes.
non-compassionate person.
Man, She won't even grant a dying man his last wish.
Won't even smother a guy with a pillow.
Right.
What kind of fucking compassion is that?
Sure.
Jeez.
Yeah. She'll hook you up with an apparatus of some kind, but she's not going to take responsibility.
That would have been the only thing that could have made fucking Brad Delp's death better.
Right.
As if they came in, there's burgers on the grill and a plastic fucking pussy on his cock.
Right.
Jeez. I would love to know. You know that's happened too.
I'm sure it has.
There's been some EMS guy that has come in and fucking found a dead guy with one of those pussy things pulsating on a fucking rock hard dead dick.
Especially if he was trying to practice erotic asphyxiation too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Isn't that what happened to that Cleveland kidnapper guy?
Ariel Castro, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that how he died?
Yeah, he tried to hang himself while jacking himself or something.
Right.
Whatever. I think that guy got a bad rap.
Isn't that what happened to David Carradine too?
Yeah, he did the same thing with a shower curtain or a shower rod or something.
And I think the same.
In the closet.
Yeah, in the closet.
Yeah, he was in a closet.
And I think the same thing happened to Michael Hutchins of InXS.
Yeah, well, good, because his music sucked. So, whatever. I'm good with that guy dying.
So, but regardless of what you thought of their craft or their art, it's just the fact that some person, be it an emergency, team or somebody, had discovered them in a compromising position like that.
I just think Ariel Castro got a bad rap, don't you?
He got a bad rap?
He did.
In what regard?
Who else gives fucking free room and board for 10 years? That's a fucking pretty sweet deal.
Nice.
Is
that what it boils down to? He was just being compassionate and giving those 3 women free room and board?
That's what I think.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. It was like a hotel service without a bill.
Right.
Come on, dude. How much money have you spent in 10 years for lodging?
Exactly. Well, it just reminds me of there's a comedian, I don't remember who it was. He was telling a joke. He said, "Yeah, my dad, he can't say anything bad about anybody." Yeah. He says you could mention the worst person on earth to this guy and he could find something positive to say about him.
Sure.
He said, "Hey, what was the guy who buried all those people under his front porch?"
Gacy?
Yeah, Gacy. He says, "Hey, Dad, well, what about John Wayne Gacy?" He goes, "He buried all those people under his front porch." He goes, "Hey, at least he was a homeowner."
The guy had quite a gardening skill.
Yeah, at least he was a homeowner.
Right, the guy could paint the shit out of a fucking
clown. Right.
At least he was a homeowner. Homeowner. It's
right. Exactly. All right, dude. Well, I think all this morbid talk has prompted me to play a tune here.
All right. What do you want to hear?
Let's play some Halloween, Dr. Stein.
I'm in for that.
All right. Well, we're going to play a couple tunes and we'll be back. Here's Halloween exclusively here
on your classic metal show.